Okay, and welcome back to the channel. Well, if it's your first time here, my name's Andrew, thanks for joining me. If it's not your first time here, it's still Andrew, and thanks for coming back. Well, today it's a good day. It's stopped raining in Wales for once, which is great. The sun's out, there's light winds. It's 8 degrees and I'm still in shorts, which is fantastic, even though it's the middle of December. And I've just been listening to my favourite happy song on the car, which is, if you want to know, the Mavericks' Dance the Night Away, about a guy who finally gets rid of his partner and he's happy and he can live life. And it's one song my wife absolutely hates, but for me, it's perfect. Anyway, this week saw DJI bring out a new update for the Neo2, the Neo and the Flip, and that's going to give you the ability to control the drone instead of using your phone, but using your Apple Watch. So I'm going to go through the setup and how it operates with you today. So this week, as I said, saw DJI release a new firmware update for the drone, and that's 01.00.0500. And you've also had a new app update, and that's 1.19.14. So you need to make sure that both of those are up to date on the drone itself and on your mobile phone, and then you're going to be able to connect through to your Apple Watch. So having now the ability to control the drone via your watch is going to make life a lot simpler in some cases, because it means if you are out mountain biking, walking, skiing, whatever, you haven't got to get your phone out to change the settings. You can do it directly from your watch, which is going to benefit you in quite a number of different environments. And with the new update, it's available for the original Neo, the Neo2 and the DJI Flip. Now, although this new feature does seem to be brilliant, it does have one big drawback, which I just discovered, and I'll show you that later in the video, but it's something you really need to be aware of because it could cause a lot of issues when you are using the app on your watch. So to get started as normal, we just need to switch the drone on and connect it through to your mobile phone as you would if you're using the app to control it. Then once that's done, we can just put the phone away. And then it's just a matter of going into the app from your watch. So as you can see, we've got all the modes. We've got follow, we've got circle, spotlight, cycling follow, helix, everything you need directly onto your watch. Now you need to make sure that you have the mode set up on the drone. It's not going to take them directly from the phone. So if, for example, you haven't got skiing mode set up on the drone, only on your phone, it's not going to appear on the watch. So when you've got the mode you want, it's just a matter of pressing the settings on the bottom, and that's going to give you all the parameters for that flight mode. So say, for example, you are doing a circle, you've got it flat and low, as well as having the distance of 4, 6, 10 and 20 meters. So you can see now that on that is set to, you can see it on there, it's actually set to selfie shot, but as I change the mode, it's going to change on the front of the screen as well to whatever modes I've got set on my watch. Also on your watch, you can see that you've got the display of what the drone is actually looking at. So again, if I move this round along the beach, you can see that the drone is sending to my watch a live feed directly from the camera. So if you're out doing any activity like you're mountain biking or you're skiing, etc., all you need to do is look at your watch and you can see the feed that you're getting. So that's going to give a bit of peace of mind that you're not going to lose the drone or it's crashed somewhere behind you and you've got to go back and find it. So you still need to launch the drone initially the first time. So as I said, I've set it for a 6-meter droney. So I'm just going to launch that.
Droney, 3, 2, 1.
And the drone is just going to go off, and then you can see on the watch then it's got me giving the live feed. You can also see that it's recording the audio as well. You can also see it's also recording the audio directly from my watch onto the drone as well. So say, for example, I want to change it to do a rocket. There we are. And then just click on go. And the drone's going to go off and do the rocket. Okay, so the first problem I noticed that if you are using the follow mode, the cycling mode or the ski mode, you're going to be limited with the options that you've actually got on the watch itself. Now, you're not able to actually reposition the drone in relation to where you are. So you can't put it to the rear, to the side, to the left or the right, unless you actually stop the drone and then reposition it and then start the recording again. But you are still able to do the height and the distance it is away from you, but you're going to be limited to those two things. So this now is recording me high, and I can go in and I can change it, say, to low, and it's going to come down and stop, turn around. And now it's going in front of me. Now I can't change any of the location around me. I'm going to have to stop, and now the drone should go around to my left as of that. So you can't actually do that on the screen itself. You've got to stop the drone and let it go. But I can still have it, say, going higher, like that, or move it further away. And I just want to say, if you are finding it useful, if you could do the like and subscribe and the notification bell, that would be great. I'm not sponsored, so all the subscriptions and watching the video right the way through to the end makes a big difference to the algorithm, and then maybe I'd be able to afford a long pair of trousers ready for the new year. Now, the major flaw I was talking about earlier is the fact that when you stop the drone, if it's too far away from you, there's no way to get it back unless you're going to use the controller or the phone. Now, I was doing the 20-meter drone earlier. I pressed stop when the drone was a fair distance away from me, and the drone just hung in the air. There's no way that you can do a return to home via the Apple Watch. So it's either a matter of walking back to the drone and trying to get a connection again, or waiting for the battery to run out and then the drone would return to home. But the issue you're going to have with that is the fact that if the drone is, say, for example, flying over water and then you press stop, you may not be close enough to get a connection, or you may not be close enough for any of the gesture controls to work. So just bear that in mind. So for me, that is going to be a major flaw when I am out using the Apple Watch, depending on the environment that I'm in. And this is where it really comes in handy, because now you can change the settings of the drone without having to launch it. So it's just a matter of going into the options you got again. So I'm going to do a droney and then do a 6-meter rise. Just go down this way. Drone's going to go and do its thing. So I'm not having to land the drone because it's just doing everything directly off the watch. Right, so I'm going to change that over now to doing a larger one. So I'm going to do a 20-meter. Click on go. Obviously the drone's going to do that. And if it runs into any issues, I can just press the stop button, and the drone then is going to stop and it's going to come back to me. Now I've pressed the stop button and the drone is just hanging in the air. So I've run into an issue where I've done a 20-meter droney. I've pressed stop to stop the drone in its tracks just for the video. But now there's no way that I can bring the drone back. I've tried using the gesture control and the palm control, but the drone is too far away for it to pick me up. So at the moment, it's just hanging in the air, waiting for the battery to run down or for me to get the phone out and bring it back manually. So it's showing.
Return to home promptly.
There we are. Right, so it's coming up now saying that it's low battery and it's returning to home. I hope.
battery.
Now that, in my opinion, is a bit stupid, because you should really have a feature on the watch that you can bring the drone back to home if anything happens. It could have been that I was flying the drone over the water. I didn't have my return to home settings done correctly. It could have run out of power just because it was hovering there and then landed in the sea. So that is a bit of a schoolboy error on DJI's part. So just bear that in mind, that if you do stop the drone, if it's too far away, there's no way for you to bring it back to you safely. You're going to have to wait until you either run out of power or walk back to the drone, or go back to the drone and then use palm gestures to land it. So as I said, just a quick, short and sweet video on how to use the Apple Watch with your DJI Neo, Neo2 or DJI Flip. If you found it useful, if you could do the like, subscribe and the notification bell, that would be great. If you've got any questions in relation to the DJI Neo, the Neo2, the Mini 4 Pro, the Mini 5 Pro or the Hover X1 Pro or Pro Max, let me know. Also, any questions in relation to the DJI Osmo Pocket, sorry, the Osmo Action 4, 5 or 6, also let me know in the comments below. I'm looking for ideas for other videos to do on any of these drones and action cams, so if you've got any ideas, also please let me know in the comments below. That would be greatly appreciated, and I'll catch you in a few days' time. Thanks very much.